Hey everyone, strap in for an epic tale that's part math, part madness, and all human drama, Fermat's last theorem. This isn't just about numbers, it's a 300-year saga of obsession, betrayal, a deadly duel, and a guy saved from suicide by a math problem. Ready to chase a puzzle that drove the world's greatest minds wild? Let's dive in. Picture ancient Greece, around 500 BC. You're hanging with Pythagoras, the mastermind behind a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Ever use that to find a triangle's side in school? But this guy wasn't just a math teacher, he was running a straight-up cult. His Pythagorean school worshipped numbers like they were the god's secret code to the universe. They believed every number could be a tidy ratio of whole numbers. Think 3 squares 4 or 5 2. They even had bizarre rules. No touching white roosters, no stepping over crossbars, no breaking bread. Sounds like a secret society, right? But what happens when someone pokes a hole in their perfect world? Enter Hippasus, a curious student. He's messing with a right triangle where both sides are 1. The hypotenuse, square root of 2, 1.414213. A number that goes on forever, never repeating, and can't be a fraction. An irrational number. Can you imagine the panic? This shattered the Pythagoreans' core belief that numbers were neat and orderly. Legend says Pythagoras was so enraged he had Hippasus drowned in a river. Drowned over a number. Ever had a discovery turn everything you thought you knew upside down? That's the first mathematical crisis. Math clashing with faith, with deadly stakes. Fast forward to 1637. Meet Pierre de Fermat, a French judge born in 1601 with a side gig as a math genius. This guy loved taunting English mathematicians, firing off tricky problems to make them squirm. One night, he's deep in an ancient Greek book, Arithmetica, by Diophantus, when he has a wild idea. He scribbles in the margin, for the equation xn plus yn equals zn, there are no positive whole numbers that work when n is bigger than 2. So, while x squared plus y squared equals z squared holds up, like 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared, no such luck for cubes, fourth powers, or higher. Here's the part that'll make you groan. Fermat claims he's got a marvelous proof for this, but, get this, the margin's too small to write it down. Ever had someone dangle a secret and not spill the beans? Fermat dies in 1665, leaving that infuriating note to haunt mathematicians for over 300 years. Was he serious or just trolling? The math world went bananas trying to crack this. Fermat himself proved it for n equals 4. In the 1700s, Leonhard Euler, a superstar mathematician, nailed n equals 3. By the 1800s, they'd knocked out n equals 5 and n equals 7. Fast forward to 1985, and computers confirmed it for powers up to 41 million. Impressive, right? But here's the catch. Proving it for all numbers greater than 2? That's like trying to catch infinity. How do you even wrap your head around that? Now, let's meet Évariste Galois, a French prodigy born in 1811. This guy's a fireball, part math genius, part rebel. At just 20, he's stirring up trouble as a political radical and falls hard for a woman. Problem is, her fiancé's a crackshot duelist who challenges Galois to a duel. Ever been in a fight you knew you'd lose? In that era, honor meant you couldn't back down, but facing a pro duelist was basically a death sentence. The night before, Galois knows he's doomed. So what does he do? He stays up all night, frantically scribbling his mathematical ideas. Wild, revolutionary concepts that create group theory. This is a way to link math problems like dominoes. Solve one piece, and others fall into place. The next morning, he faces the duel, gets shot, and dies at 20. Can you believe it? His messy, rushed notes are ignored for years until another mathematician decodes them, realizing they're a game changer for problems like Fermat's. What could Galois have done with more time? Around the same time, Sophie Germain, a brilliant Frenchwoman, crashes the male-dominated math world. In the 1800s, women faced huge barriers, but math, all you needed was a sharp mind and some paper. Germain proposes a bold new way to tackle Fermat's theorem, not just for specific numbers, but for all numbers at once. Her ideas light a fire, and the French Academy of Sciences offers a hefty prize. Two big names, Cauchy and Lemay, submit proofs, thinking they've cracked it. But another mathematician, Kummer, tears them apart, showing their approaches are flawed, and the era's math tools just aren't enough. Ever poured your heart into something, only to find out it's a dead end? Here's where the story gets downright bizarre. In the early 1900s, Paul Wolfskehl, a wealthy German industrialist, is crushed by a brutal romantic rejection. He decides to end it all at midnight. To pass the hours, he starts putting his affairs in order and grabs a random book to read. It's about Fermat's last theorem, diving into Kummer's work on those failed proofs. Wolfskehl gets sucked in, spotting a tiny flaw in the reasoning. He's so engrossed, he misses his midnight deadline. The math problem saves his life. Talk about a plot twist. When he dies in 1908, he leaves a massive fortune as a prize for the first correct proof. Suddenly, Fermat's last theorem is the hottest challenge in math. The prize committee gets flooded with submissions, mostly from amateurs and dreamers. They print rejection postcards that pile up 10 feet high. Ever chased a crazy dream just for the glory? Finally, in 1995, the theorem meets its match. Andrew Wiles, a British mathematician working at Princeton. As a 10-year-old, Wiles stumbled across Fermat's puzzle in a library book and was hooked. It's like finding a treasure map, right? As an adult, he's an expert in elliptical curves, a totally different math field. But in the 1980s, he hears about the Taniyama-Shimura conjecture, a bold idea from two Japanese mathematicians in the 1950s. They suggested a deep link between elliptical curves and modular forms. Think of it like finding a secret passage between two unrelated rooms. Wiles has an aha moment. If this conjecture is true, it could unlock Fermat's theorem. Could this be the key to a 300-year-old mystery? Wiles goes all in, working in secret for 7 years. Why the secrecy? Math is cutthroat. Share an idea, and someone might beat you to the finish line. Ever had to guard a big secret? Wiles even publishes unrelated papers to throw colleagues off, making them think he's just chugging along with normal research. He describes the process like stumbling through a dark mansion, feeling every wall and corner to find a light switch, only to enter another dark room. That's 7 years of his life. Total obsession. In 1993, Wiles is ready. At a math conference, he gives a series of lectures, keeping the title vague. At the end of the final talk, he drops the bombshell. And this proves Fermat's last theorem. Mic drop. The room erupts. Mathematicians are losing their minds. After 358 years, has he done it? Not so fast. A team of experts spends 8 months checking his proof, line by line. They find a tiny error, a crack in the foundation that stops the whole thing cold. Imagine the gut punch. The world's calling you a genius, magazines are comparing you to celebrities, and now your proof might be trash. Ever had a moment where success slipped away? Wiles spends 2 years trying to fix it, nearly giving up. He's drowning in pressure, with the media and math world watching. Then in 1994, a miracle. Wiles remembers an old idea from his earlier work. He combines it with his proof, and not only does it fix the error, it makes the whole thing more elegant, like a perfect symphony. In 1995, he publishes the final proof, dedicating it to his wife as a birthday gift. After 358 years, Fermat's last theorem is solved. The math world throws a party, and Wiles becomes a legend. If you're loving this wild ride through math's greatest mystery, from cults to duels to a life-saving puzzle, hit that like and subscribe button. It keeps us bringing you epic stories of human grit and genius. Share this with a friend who'd geek out over a 300-year math chase, and let's keep the adventure rolling. So what's the big picture? From Pythagoras' deadly cult to Galois's tragic duel, Wolfscale's redemption, and Wiles's epic triumph, Fermat's last theorem is a human story. Was Fermat just messing with us? Maybe, but his cheeky note sparked centuries of brilliance, obsession, and heart. What's the wildest challenge you've ever tackled?